We were happy until yesterday afternoon. We've definitely moved on to a very, very good Ball State team. But knowing that you were going to ask, it was a great day for us. As a program coming off of our opening MAC game loss at Northern. We knew we were going to play a really, really good team in Miami, and we did. And got off to a good start. Was moving right down the field, and then turned it over. Our lone, turnover of the game, but obviously it was costly. And they moved the ball, seemingly at will early on until they'd get down to the red zone, and our defense held to 2 field goals. And that was the story of the game, right? Because we ended up putting some points on the board there in the second quarter. Third quarter and fourth quarter, defensively, they just took over the game. Pressure on the quarterback, and then the batted balls. With our front, we had 6 batted balls, and they do that to us, all camp. Mm-hmm. It's incredibly frustrating, and we're really good at it. We work at it really, really hard, and it goes all the way down to the last play of the game defensively with the 4th and 5 with the batted down ball. So. The pressure on the QB was just relentless. Offensively, our first down production was really bad. We were, second and long, double sticks. I think it was 3 or 4 times, even just in the second half. And, whether it was a run play, a play action, twice on play action where we're second and long, and that's just not a great recipe for success. And so, just overall, as a team, really, really, really proud of the effort and excited to move forward on to Ball State.
Perfect. Guys, you want to open up with questions for Coach?
Coach, you always talk about how important special teams is to get the field goals, to get the protection, the quality snaps. Not that it's a luxury, but knowing that you have a guy and a unit like that, how much more confidence does that give a team in general to be able to go out and know you're going to end a lot of drives with kicks like that?
Well, we don't want to end with field goals. We want to end with extra points. At the same time, it is freeing to know that, once you get into that 35-yard range, is that you're going to come away with points. Our specialists are, I really believe this, are as good as anybody. And doesn't mean they're perfect, and, they can't do it alone. But I really feel that way about our specialists, and that allows for our special teams. Our program takes special teams really, really seriously. And that's, our sixth-year seniors, our freshmen. Coach Nunez does a great job just with the importance of it. I think as a program, we don't just talk about it. We actually really mean it. And we know how important they are, and it's been an advantage for us throughout.
Coach, I'm looking at this game and watching the game. You think the outcome of the 13-12 score on your part, was it more due to your stroke? Do you think were struggles offensively, or was it great defense by them? Is it correctable? You look at the film and say, okay, we only have 13 points. We won. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
We only had 13 points. Was it because of the physical play that you just weren't good enough to, or was it more correctable things that you can improve on?
Yeah, no, I really, now they're a good defense. I mean, there's no question. Really where they hurt, they sacked us 6 times, right? I mean, their pass rush with just 4 was very difficult. They're really good at that. So I want to give all credit. Can we do better against that? Absolutely. Do we have execution errors? Particularly when we're talking about some of those first downs that just got us into trouble. Absolutely. So without taking anything away from them, and again, particularly their pass rush, they forced us into, doing some things differently in terms of protection. that we had not anticipated that we would need to do. That did not go as well as it would have had we anticipated going to that. But yeah, no, there's execution issues, and again, me not properly anticipating some of the issues and having our guys prepared.
Hey Chris, can you talk about going up against Split this week, and also, Ball State's defense, because they pressured Ellaby, forced 4 turnovers against Western in that win.
Yeah, so Drew Plitt's a really good quarterback, and he's surrounded by really good players. Not only are they the 2020 MAC champs, but they essentially have their entire team back. That's the story, and it is loaded with redshirt seniors and seniors. So they've got a lot of guys who've played a lot of football, and obviously last year in particular played at a really, really high level, and they know who they are and they know what they're capable of. So he's super talented, and it's as good of a receiving corps as there is, in the league. And I mean that sincerely. Obviously, it starts with their offensive line, and then there's a running game that goes with it. I mean, he's really good at running their offense. He's very accurate, and again, he's got a lot of weapons. And then defensively, Western Michigan had done a really nice job all year long with securing the football. And other than, sort of one errant bounce on an interception, although it was an amazing catch by the Ball State linebacker, Ball State they took the ball away. That was, pressure on the QB. They just I think Western Michigan was just out of sync. I think their defense did a great job. Pretty even game, throughout the first half, and then Ball State definitely took it over.
Hey, Coach, Friday, or I should say Saturday, really important. The atmosphere was electric outside. A big chance to make an impression on people who want to come back. What do you think your team showed those folks who might have been there for the first time this year, and given them a reason to come back to more home games?
Yeah, if you haven't been here often, or it's your first time and you come and want to see, good football and an exciting game, I don't know how it could get more exciting. You could win 51-52, you can win 13-12, but the way that our defense was just getting after the quarterback, it was just super exciting. Disappointing offensively at the end that we couldn't muster first downs. But yeah, our game day experience is excellent, and the atmosphere was electric. When people come, and they were here. We pulled up to the stadium about 2 hours and 15 minutes before kickoff from our pregame meal, and I don't think there was a parking spot in any of the lots open at that time. And and then the crowd got into it, you don't want to be affected by that either way, positively or negatively, but the reality of it is when you got that energy and that atmosphere, it absolutely lifts our guys' spirits.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Coach, 2 student athletes with us today, 1 special teams, 1 on your defense. We'll start with Jake first, and his ability, we've seen him deaden a lot of punts over the years and burn clock, but to burn 13 seconds to win the game, that's a tall task for somebody to ask for, right?
Yeah, so when we take a knee at the end of the game, we call it the prettiest play in football. That's literally the name of the play. And I told the team last night that a 13-second long punt to win the game is the prettiest play in football. Jake is just a great story, and first because he's a great human being. But it's hard to think of somebody who is more improved from when he first got here to who he is today. And so much of that, obviously there's some natural talent, but he is just so serious and so committed about being great. And I love that. And it's all year, it's every day. It's what he eats. It's how he works out. It's when no one's looking, right? And there's 5 inches of snow on the ground and he's in the bubble, by himself, working on his craft. And he's an unbelievable, weapon on our team. And he's also a leader. I mean, he's been captain for us now, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, in our 6 games. So, and then just came up big, and it wasn't just, we think we netted 46 yards, on the day, which is pretty darn good. And he had a couple boomers, and then, that last one wasn't even close. I mean, he just got it off and kept that ball alive. And those 13 seconds, I mean, it's a big deal.
And then you're on the defensive side of things. We know what Turan is able to do. He moved from not on the list in terms of all-time quarterback hurries to now he's top 4 with his performance on Saturday. He still trails Max in that category, but you've had some pretty good defensive ends, and he's right up there with them.
Turan somehow, just kept getting better, during that game. And it wasn't confidence because he's already has, the right mix of confidence and humility. But he and Jose, their get-offs and just the way, I think their quarterback ended up 16 of 39. We had 34 minutes time of possession, and I thought it was an error. But then when you think about all the incompletions, stopping the clock, I think that's where that came from. And so he just had a monster game. But, Turan is energy. He brings energy. He infuses our team, our defense with that. And he plays that way, lives his life that way. And he just absolutely brought it on Saturday.
Anything else for Coach? Okay. Guys, who wants to go first?
All right, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks for being on, guys.
Hey, by the way, Coach, I met your mom the other day. She was fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, they're staying the week. They said,
Yeah.
hey, they said that you came down and talked to them. I really appreciate that. They really enjoyed that. So appreciate it. Have a great day.
That was my pleasure, my honor.
Jake, Coach just talked about your impact on the program and obviously in the Miami game specifically. Personally off to a great start this year. We know your ability, but from your player's perspective, what is your most important role on this team?
It's helping the team win. That's what I was talking to Coach Nunez about yesterday, was a lot of the time when I have a good game, when I get a lot of action, it's because we're not doing so well. And just to be involved and have that much of a positive impact on the game and still win, that's great.
Questions for Jake?
Game like that, the ability to flip the field. Can you give us a sense, the gauge of satisfaction when you're doing what you're doing, not just pitting teams inside the 20, but the fact that they're not getting any returns on you at all?
The returns bit, you really got to chalk it up to Freddie and Ishan. Those guys, who are both starters on our team, are just sprinting down the field every down. And it wasn't until recently I realized why people don't like doing special teams as much is because they got to run 50 or 60 yards full sprint, but those guys give it their all every down. And it's just great that, if there were 11 me's on the field, there wouldn't be a lot of fair catches in our conference. So I got to really give it to those guys.
The other thing is, some people overlook this, but the holding for field goals and extra points, that's an important unit, right? And especially in a game like that. What do you guys, what's the togetherness? What's the feel for a unit like that and how important it is for you guys?
Me, Chad, and Steve, we're really close. And it's one of those things where we just continue to grow as a group. Me and Chad send each other a lot of stuff about the mental game. We'll be texting each other probably every single day. Just little bits we hear, whether it's like a podcast or like a radio thing, or an interview with a kicker, punter, and just stuff we pick up across the league. I mean, even just the smallest stuff like holding. We're heading to a hardware store tonight to check out different screws that we can put into the turf for our spots. Like, it's just the smallest little advantages that we're just continue on growing and just trying to get the most out of it.
I don't want you hold on extra points and field goals, correct? Yeah.
Yep.
What are you going to run a fake? When's Coach Creighton going to let you show your athleticism? The Barry, Ontario, maybe one of the greatest athletes ever come out of Barry, Ontario. What are you going to pull it? Maybe run a little options with Chad or just throw?
I'm pulling for it every single day, I think, as much as you are. But yeah, Coach Fink gets me right. If I can get loose, I'll try. But that's something we got to work on.
It's good. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Jake, last one before we bring up Turan. We heard Coach's perspective, but interested from your perspective about the type of teammate Turan is.
Oh, man. I was with Turan. We lived in the village together when he first got here. And he's the type of dude that you just know exactly what you're getting. He's so consistent with who he is. He's a great dude. Type of dude that's going to be at my wedding. He's just such a ball of energy to be around, and it's always positive. And he makes me excited to go out there and help him out. Like, it's not like a lot of other teams. I have friends at other schools who are specialists, and a lot of the time they're not seen as part of the team. But with Turan, it's not even just with me. Like, our freshman long snapper, he's talking to him, he's talking his ear off. So he's just a great dude.
Awesome. Thanks, Jake. Turan?
Thanks, guys.
All right, Turan, we'll start you off with a similar question. You just heard what Jake had to say about you. Tell me your thoughts on not only Jake as a teammate, but how important his role is for your guys' success on the field.
Jake, he is one of the best dudes I ever met in my life. You're talking about consistent. Jake is a person that's going to be there when you're at the highest moments in your life and the lowest. Jake has taught me many things about how to be a man, how to be a better football player on and off the field. You know, when it comes to the specialists, we have one of the special groups in the whole entire nation of college football. These guys love what they do, and they love what the offense and defense do. You don't get that in a lot of college football programs. Them guys work harder than anybody on our team. So I respect them guys with the utmost.
Matt? Looks like he may be frozen, so I'll ask you a few while he's reconnecting. Turan, I know you might have heard Greg say that before the game against Miami. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, Turan, love watching you play, man. I mean, just love it. I wanted to know the mindset you had, penalty, that might have been a little bogus, but you still got the penalty. And then to take your ears back and then make the play of the game at the end. How do you reset that mindset?
And our defense and our program teaches 1-0 mentality. When you do good, you flush it, 1-0. When you do bad, you flush it, 1-0. And I know that penalty was costly, but I knew that I had to flush it. And I had to drive on and play for another play. So let's lining up every play. You got to have a mindset of what I'm going to do to help this defense win, what I'm going to do to help this team win. And I knew I had to do that. So when you mess up and make mistakes, you just got to be able to bounce back regardless of the situation you're in.
Yeah, that was well done. How much do you enjoy playing in a game like that where your defense plays such a critical point?
Man, it's fun. Just getting after with the guys. You know, when you know the defensive unit got your back, you just going out there going 110% every play. And that's whether the score is on our favor or against our favor. You got to go in that field with the same mentality every play. And we can be up by 110 points, but I'm going to play 110% every play. And it's fun playing with guys that's going to do the same for you.
It's pretty obvious you're a leader of this team. How have you grown as a leader?
Well, first I would have to say Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. He has helped me become a leader and have gave me the gifts to become a leader. Building my relationship with him have helped me on the field and off the field, and helped me be a better teammate to my friends and to my community.
Matt, are you good?
Rubes has got one.
Oh, perfect.
Hey, Turan, in that game, obviously you were winning against your matchups. When do you know, as a DN, that's going to be a good game? When you know either inside that guy's head or even better that he just can't block you and you can get pressure? When do you figure that out, and how do you know?
Well, it all starts at the beginning of the week. I watch a lot of film. Being a mental player helps me make plays, I watch what the tackle do, watch when he shoot his hands, I watch how much steps he take before he open his hips. I think I've grown in that aspect of the football game, and that helped me make plays. And then once I'm on the field, the man standing across from me, I already know in my mind I'm going to beat him. If you have any other mindset than that, you're already losing. So it don't matter who I'm going against. I know I'm going to win. I tell myself I'm going to win my one-on-one matchups. Whoever steps in front of me, I got to win. There's no other option for real.
Greg and Alex made reference to you climbing the charts in quarterback hurries. Max Crosby's still up there. What's that inspiration for you to get something like that?
It's very, the first thing about me is about worrying about how to win and help the defense win. My stats and my single stats and all that stuff gonna come second, so whatever I gotta do to do my job to help the team win that's what I'm focused on. And all that other stuff will come. Sacks, hurries, pressures, all that stuff will come once I do my job.
Great answer, and love watching you play, man. Thank you. Stay healthy and keep up the great work.
Yes, sir.